everybody, I am back with another very special video. And in this video, I'm going to be going back and telling you guys a personal account, two personal accounts actually, of some very memorable moments for me playing arcade games. Growing up, arcades were kind of going out of fashion in the late 90s, so they weren't very popular, but there were a few places where I got to have some just unforgettable experiences, and I want to share those with you guys today. And I hope that you guys comment below and let me know some of your favorite arcade memories as well. But before I get into that, real quick, I literally just put my 3DS down and I completed The Legend of Zelda: The Ocarina of Time for the first time. Unbelievable. The majority of you guys have already played this game, I'm sure, so I don't want to, take any more time explaining this game, but it was just phenomenal. And when the credits rolled and like the entire soundtrack played, it was just an unforgettable moment. So I'm so happy to have finally completed the Ocarina of Time. So I'll share the less memorable experience first, and it's when my family and I actually went on a camping trip, and there was this place called Mohican where you could go, and it was just like a camping ground, and in the center of the camping ground there was this little arcade building, and my friend and I would go in there every day, and there were plenty of arcade games to play. They had only actually one arcade actually comes to mind, and that's the one we sat there and played all day, and that is Tekken 3. It was just unbelievable. When I first played that game, it was the first time I've ever played a Tekken game, and I have fallen in love with the series ever since. I never played any Street Fighter games before that, and to this day I'm not a Street Fighter fan, but I just fell in love with Tekken when I first played it, and our favorite character, my friend and I always played, is Eddie. He was just so cool, and we just aspired to be like him. We just thought it was so cool how he was dancing around and doing all these break dancing moves. And for those of you that for some reason have never played Tekken 3, that right there was a live demonstration of Eddie. That's exactly what he looks like, so I think that was pretty legit. But moving on, Tekken 3, it was fantastic. I later bought it on the PlayStation when I finally got my PlayStation, but it's one of my favorite fighters of all time, and to play it in the arcades with my friend, it was just such a blast. I can't even tell you how much money we blew through quarters playing that game, but it was a lot of fun. And for those of you that haven't played Tekken 3, definitely try and pick it up on the PlayStation. It's so inexpensive these days, so I definitely recommend picking that one up. The next arcade memory I hold very dear to my heart, for a multitude of reasons, one of which, basically my parents were divorced, and my sister and I had to go with my mom to work after school quite a bit during the week, and basically we were bored to tears because we were in elementary school at the time, so we didn't have much homework to do, and we would be there from probably 4 in the afternoon till sometimes 8 or 9 at night, so it got pretty ridiculous. But there was a laundromat next door, and to our surprise, there were 2 arcades in there when we first had to start going there with her, and we had never heard of the games before, but they were the Simpsons arcade and the Die Hard arcade game. So we first, we had nothing better to do, so we were like, what are we going to lose? Let's pop in some of our allowance money. We popped in some quarters. We first played the Simpsons game. We fell in love with the game. We just blew all of our allowance money on that game, and when we died, I'd have my sister stay there and keep pressing the continue button so that when the clock was ticking down from 10 seconds, that it wouldn't expire so that we wouldn't lose our save, while I would run into the next door, the salon where my mom was cutting hair. And they'd be like, Mom, we need more quarters, we need to beat the Simpsons game. And she'd be like, what are you doing? No! She would freak out, so we'd have to go in the back room and get in her little piggy bank, her store piggy bank, that had all of the money from the store, and we would steal money out of there and go play the Simpsons game. And it was just ridiculous, but it was one of the most memorable experiences I have playing games and playing an arcade game. The Simpsons game was just incredible, and it's actually developed by Konami, and it has not been re-released on any other consoles except for the PC, I believe the Commodore 64, and I don't know if it's made at Xbox Live Arcade yet or not, But if it has, you guys definitely need to try it out. It is such an excellent game. Very similar to Turtles in Time, Streets of Rage, Final Fight, if you guys have played any of those games on the Super Nintendo or the Genesis Streets of Rage. But it's just an excellent beat 'em up. And the story is basically Mr. Burns steals Maggie because she starts sucking on this diamond of his. And when he steals Maggie, then the 4 playable characters are Homer, Marge, Lisa, and Bart. And you basically have to go through Springfield, beating up all of these other Simpsons characters, trying to make your way to the final stage where you fight Mr. Burns. My sister and I probably beat that game 100 times. It was just so awesome, and I will never forget some of the experiences I shared with my sister playing. The next game is actually based on the movie Die Hard with Bruce Willis. Now, this game came out in '96 in the arcades. I think it saw a release on the Saturn in '97. And then recently, I think it saw a release on the PlayStation 2, like I want to say 2006 or so. So if you're looking to play this game, and you're probably not going to find it in the arcades these days, look for it on the Saturn or maybe the PlayStation 2 as well. But this is another beat 'em up similar to Streets of Rage and Final Fight and Turtles in Time, things like that. But it was just excellent. It was so over the top and just so ridiculous. Just crazy dialogue in the game. The graphics were pretty bad, but it was just so fun. And I just remember like using these crazy weapons like rocket launchers and machine guns and just beating the crap out of people. And I was so young at the time. I just felt so powerful and just so strong, and I was just like, I don't know, I just felt so superior. I don't know what the heck the deal was, but it was just such a blast. And since I didn't get to go to these giant arcades like people that lived in the 80s, that were growing up in the 80s, that they got to play, go in these giant arcades and play Donkey Kong and Galaga, Galaxian, Pac-Man, things like that. I didn't get to experience that. So to just have these 2 arcades here and be able to play Die Hard and The Simpsons it was incredible. And I honestly will never forget those experiences that I shared with my sister. They are completely unforgettable, and I will definitely hold those dear to my heart as long as I live. It was just such a blast. This video comes to an end, guys. I would love for you guys to comment below. I want to hear your experiences in the arcades as well, because I know some of my viewers, grew up in the 80s, and I'm sure they have some excellent experiences in the arcades as well. And if people are my age, I'm sure you went in the arcades in the 90s as well. And you still have GameWorks and Dave & Buster's today, so if you have some good experiences playing, House of Dead or Time Crisis, comment below. I don't care. But I just want to hear what you guys have to say. And thank you guys for watching this. Thank you guys for the continued support, even though the frequency of videos is not, as great as it has been in the past, just because I am busy with college work. But thank you guys for, staying with my channel and showing me support and commenting and subscribing. So thank you guys so much, and please comment below. I'll see you soon.